Well, hello there everybody, and welcome to the first episode of QuickFort. This is going to be a series where I get done with things in a little bit more of a timely fashion. This is all going to be post-commentary, me playing the game, speeding it up, and then doing what I do afterwards. So the first place that we're going to be going to is a haunted region. I'm deciding what I want to do right now. I was looking for a little bit of a place that would be a little bit more dangerous than the last one, because we had a lot of issues with not actually having anything to fight. And I'm looking for some deep metal, some shallow metal, just stuff like that so we can get into it. Also, to have a little bit of mountains to protect us. Now, as with every Genesis place that we go into, we don't really start with any points, so I actually had to remove a few things. Not a big deal, but still something that we need to do. But still, same old miners, same mason, carpenters, all that. Couldn't really decide what I wanted with the last three, so I just went with a doctor, and then I went with a grower. Don't think I've actually got to that part yet. There we go. I made the grower. Good for me. Good for me. And I didn't put any of the rest of the points into the last guy because I decided that I actually wanted a few more seeds. And then from there I decided, I think I want some cows because this is going to be a haunted area and I'm not going to get a chance for very many animals. So I figured, why not? It's going to be dangerous. Also got some roosters. Should work well. Didn't really start with a...
9 out of every 10 embarkments end in complete disaster. I can't wait to see what awaits us here.
Nah, me neither. Anyway, so I decided I would just start off here, but luckily for me, it was mostly flat, but there was this one little spot right here which was raised up that I could build in, and I decided to abuse the fuck out of this. Now, you might ask why I didn't cut out that little bit in the center of that little hallway going into that area down there, and that's because we don't have much time. This is a haunted area, and as you saw, there's already an undead animal nearby, and I'm just checking around, sort of just looking around, trying to find anything that might come up, but not really finding anything yet. There was that one undead animal, but he's kind of far off. Now we're going to be building this first area right here, and this is going to originally be a stockpile. I have better and bigger plans for that in the future, but as you know, nothing right now. But first things first, we need to get some protection, so we're going to be digging a moat. You guys may be tired of moats because I did a lot of moats in the last fort. But I love moats. They're probably one of the best ways to protect us. A moat combined with bridges, combined with stuff filling up the moat that's dangerous, you really can't get any better than that. But if we're going to build this, we're going to need some mechanisms, so that's what I just built right there. Kind of checking on a few of the animals, a few of the wild animals around here, just making sure that they're not getting any closer to the fort. Now, I do want that stockpile room to get complete, but I don't have enough time to really mine out all of it, so that's why I cut out that little bit of it, and I'm only doing that. Right now, I'm just waiting for them to finish digging that out, so I can remove that, and then we'll be able to be at least moderately protected from that front. Now, you might also be questioning, what about, people coming from above? I'll get that sorted out here in a minute. You guys will see that. Now, I just got to set the stockpile stuff up. Should be pretty simple. Not really waiting for everything to get done. We pretty much have to rush this place, because if we don't, and you're going to see here in a little bit, it does get very dangerous very quickly in this place. So we need to be very careful, and we are treading on our tiptoes. You might also notice that I'm not setting up any food sources yet. That is intentional. We don't have enough time for that. I'm hoping that I will be able to get through with just a little bit of food that we brought, and be able to set up some foodstuffs later, some farms underground, stuff like that. Although there doesn't seem to be any soil layer to speak of. Kind of lied when we were coming into this. It said there was a deep soil layer, but never mind. Setting up a wall up there so nothing can jump down, get into the fort. I don't think they can anyway, but it's probably good to be better safe than sorry. So we're getting our stuff moved in. It looks like that skeletal deer is still up there. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but gotta be worried about it. Always gotta be worried about it. Otherwise, we will get our asses kicked. But, everything seems to be working out so far pretty well. I mean, there's a lot of things that could go wrong in an embark like this. Considering it's haunted, and especially considering that we have seen dangerous stuff already, none of them seems to be moving quite towards the fort. We are getting lucky already, so that is a good sign starting out, so hopefully that doesn't turn to bite us in the ass, which it just did. That skeletal deer is chasing off all our dwarves and our animals. Hopefully they don't get too far away. Just need to get him inside. If we can get him inside, we should be fine. I mean, we do have that lever set up. We should be able to get protected, but the deer does eventually just stop following everybody. Kind of gets bored, and the dwarves just decide, nah. But we do get the animals brought in kind of closer right here into the fort. That way, if something does come, instead of running towards what's scaring them, they'll run into the fort. That should help a lot. But they won't have much grass to graze on, so we do need to get something more permanent set up for them quickly. And I mean quickly. I mean, this is an area where there is not much grass, as you can see. There's only a few spots, and there's, you know, we're kind of built on top of it, that line where grass is growing. Right now, I'm just looking for anything dangerous, but, you know, not spotting anything flat out. There was a bull moose, but that's not dangerous. Now, you might notice I've set an area on that little pole to be channeled. That will come in handy later. Actually, it won't, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. No need to spoil that yet. Now we're just getting everything brought in. Should be pretty easy. Wow, I stopped talking there for a second. It's amazing. Now, the reason I said that this stockpile room is not going to stay a stockpile room is because, as you can see, it is directly over the water. That is intentional. What I'm planning to do with that, and you'll see that in a little bit as they start bringing stuff in, this is a little bit of a lull in it. Not much can really happen while I'm waiting for them to dig, so I'm just going to go ahead and explain what we're going to do with this room. As you can see, it's fairly big. There's a llama for no reason. Llamas! There's a llama for no reason. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a staircase up, and as you can see, I built that there. We're going to build up, build over, make a floodgate, build one more over, and then dig up so that we can have the water flood into that room. I can designate when it's on and off, and that should be able to let us flood that. And I will be able to build other areas going up to it, connecting to the floodgate, closing off the other areas that the floodgate could lead to. And there's a little pop-up. Don't worry about that. I was just watching YouTube videos while I did this. Don't worry about that. Somebody's going to pause and figure out what I was watching, but you know, that's no big deal. Now, what I do have planned for here is I said that the solution that we had for our animals wasn't really good enough because there wasn't enough grass to sustain them. They pretty much ate through all that grass immediately. So we're going to move them up there. We'll build a little path going up. We'll build an area from our staircase leading up through the ground. Cordon that off with some walls, and there we go. We've got our animals protected, we've got our animals eating, and that's good. As they grow, that'll mean food for us that will not be contaminated, hopefully. So that is a major bonus and should be something that will actually benefit us, not now, but it's an investment for later. Because we can't really count on caravans or anything like that for animals. I mean, they are good bringers of animals, but still. Now, as I said, this floor is going to be for farming. We are going to have to move those rocks out. But whether it's for farms or whether it's for stockpiles, it's going to have to be moved out of the way one way or another. So we just need to get that moved over there. That'll be fine. It don't matter. But, you know, this is a pretty good place, though. Haunted, yes. Dangerous stuff, yes. But nothing really bugging us as of yet. Although we haven't got any food production started, which is going to be a bit of a pain and is going to be a bit tough. But that is something that we can handle. If you guys have seen, you guys have all watched the last playthrough, so you guys know that I am an expert. I am a bloody fucking expert at getting more food than we could ever deal with. So even though we're having a little bit of issues now, those will not persist. Hopefully. Hopefully they won't. Also got to mix around with a few of their jobs just to make sure that, you know, they don't fuck up. So we got that going for us. Need to get a few beds built up because even though we don't have bedrooms yet, and that's something that the dwarves, that will lower the dwarves' effectiveness to start out, is that they are not sleeping on beds. That will make them a little bit slower, but that's something that we have to deal with. And I make my first big mistake right here. And it's not in actually putting up these walls. These walls are something that, as I said, are desperately needed to protect these animals. My mistake, the biggest mistake that I have made so far right here, is only having one mason to actually put up those walls. And that will come to bite me in the ass here in a minute in a way that is incomprehensible because the walls will not be up fast enough. And I won't even be able to I won't know what really would stop me. I couldn't fathom what would really come a problem with that because I didn't cross my mind. All I was thinking about was getting this dug, having this all done. And you know, that's good. I mean, I got this stuff done and this stuff is getting done very quickly, but I'm leaving the animals up on the surface a little bit more unprotected. And as I see, a few of the jobs are getting canceled here and there. and I'm checking about how the few of the dwarves are doing. The miners are ecstatic. We got a little lucky on that, because the miners are male and female, and considering the fact that they spend more of their time together than any other pair of dwarves, they are more likely to set up a romantic relationship. And there's me failing. And they did. The male and female dwarves are actually setting up a relationship, which is very good. That will increase their effectiveness. That will make them very happy very quickly. Just getting some bedrooms designated because of the area that we're in. I'm going to need to make sure that they're happy all the time. I can't remember what happened there. We need to make sure that they're happy all the time. So that's why the room is going to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to fill it with some, statues, coffers, stuff like that. It's all going to be engraved. And just in general, being bigger and being engraved and all that will increase the happiness rating of the dwarves about tenfold. So that is a very, 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 very good thing. And as you can see, the secondary room up here that I didn't really specify what it is, that is going to be a stockpile room. That's where we're going to move the stockpiles from the other room. As you can see here, I'm redesignating this because apparently the miners fucking forgot about it. But, see, there we go. We got the floodgate set up. We're going to start moving the stockpile stuff up to the next room, getting some workshops built, because we don't have rooms for those yet, but we still need them. We're going to need some beds, we need the floodgates, we need the mechanisms, even though I don't think I built, yeah, there we go, I built that. Got the mechanisms being built. Everything is going pretty well down here. But we don't have the food production yet, and that is a very bad thing. I do bring up that menu from time to time, but I think it's fast enough that you guys don't see it, or it goes by too fast. And here it is. Here's what I fucked up. There is a skeletal white tiger. She is missing all of her stuff, but that doesn't change the fact that she is a badass motherfucker, and because I didn't set enough people to actually build this quick enough, the animals are left out in the open. She takes on a sleeping dwarf right there. The other dwarves manage to come up and kill her. She is just a skeleton. Doesn't take too long. But that guy's head is torn open. I'm pretty sure he dies. I'm pretty sure by the end of this we do lose Mount. I'm pretty sure we lose. I know we lose him. He lost way too much blood. Her left breast is gone. Her left breast is gone. Her left breast is gone. I feel awful for her. I hope she gets better. If she does have a titty baby, I hope it's a lefty so that she can, you know what I know. You know what I know, what I know, what I know. But right here, we're setting up the water. I'm going to open that up. That'll let the water flood down into here, muddy the ground. Because the water is moving at such a distance, it will guarantee a flood. Making sure I set up this here, I got really worried about the animals, and there you go. When water moves over a longer distance, it has a better chance to muddy the area, and that is a very, very good thing in this sort of scenario where we are not guaranteed water. And the reason that floodgate is there is so that I can reflood the areas down here every so often. The mud won't go away and the plots won't go away, but it does give me the options to muddy this whole room given enough time. Now, as you can see here, a few of the people are getting chased away. This guy got raped, like he just got demolished by an undead deer of all things. And I love deer. Deer are an amazing animal and they taste scrumptious. But they're getting destroyed. We needed Benny Hill music right here. Because this guy just got chased, knocked up against a tree. He isn't getting out. He is not getting out, but the deer do give up. They don't give up the chase on him. They do get him. I will not let that be a spoiler or anything like that. They do get him. Don't worry. He's gone. And I was just checking to make sure that that wasn't blood, because if that was blood right there, that would contaminate the water, and that would mean hell for the fort from then on out. And as you can see here, I learned from my mistakes. I raised that bridge. I set everyone to masons, and I go to work on this. This is a big hole in our security. I've already paid a little bit for it, and we need to get that done very, very quickly. And if we don't, it is going to probably be the end of the fort there and of. And as you can see, one of the miners died. And because they were setting up a relationship, that really is killing the other miner dwarf. Like, it is probably one of the worst things that could have happened, is that other miner dying. And I don't know why he was in the position to be killed or anything like that, but he was. And that is a very, very bad thing. Gonna need to get some caskets built, get them buried, or else we're gonna be dealing with a tantrum spiral, because they're gonna get really sad really quick. And It is just a little fling, but if I've learned anything from seeing teenagers and being a teenager at one point in time, it doesn't matter how long you've known someone, if you had any romantic feelings for them, it's gonna be exacerbated all to hell if something happens. Especially if something like this happens, so go figure. But still, got the stockpiles moved up here, got this built, and our saving grace that always seems to happen, we got some migrants. And because we did get that area muddied off, and we did set most of the dwarves we had to masonry, I did get the new dwarves to, a few of them, right here that we're seeing, set up to be farmers. That is going to help a lot. That'll get us food pretty quickly. That'll help a lot. They're all set to be farmers and masons, and I fuck up right here and called it firmer. I called it a firmer. I don't care. But still, that is going to help a lot. That is going to let us get that built up. That's going to let us get our farms and stuff done. That's going to let us start mining a lot more. And everything's going to go quite a lot better because of it. I mean, that is a big boost. That is a very lucky boost. I'm not going to lie. That is sheer fucking luck. But, you know, that's how it always happens with this. And that's how it always happens with me. If something bad happens in this game, and I don't think that we can come back from it, BAM! Migrants, motherfucker, to save the day! But still, gonna have to get this set up as well. The rooms and stuff that we've already got set up, and it won't be that difficult to actually get a pretty decent setup for that. I mean, we've pretty much already got how we need it. We've already got a lot of beds built. And since we did lose a few dwarves, you know, maybe having a few extra bedrooms setting to be built wouldn't be a bad thing, and you know. But the dwarves are managing to get a lot of stuff done. We are getting a lot of the stone moved out of the way from the places that they don't need to be, especially in the stockpile and the farming rooms, very quickly, and that is very beneficial. It doesn't seem like it would be that much of a benefit just to have stone out of the way, but you would be very surprised at how much it actually impedes the movement of your dwarves. Just it being there. And maybe it's all in my head, and it probably is, but I just find stone lying everywhere, it kills me, man. I can't stand it. But oh well. We're getting the stone moved out. Can't have it around the farms, can't have it around the stockpiles. Getting that all done. Thought about putting the rooms, or for the rooms for the workshops down there, but decided against it. Gonna have it up here so it's a little bit closer to the stockpiles, and setting up a few of the bigger stockpile rooms, or not stockpile, but workshop rooms right there. They're not needed yet, but they will be needed in the future, and having a spot for them will be beneficial. Now, we do not have a trading depot yet, but you know, that's fine. We don't exactly need it. Now, I just remembered why they weren't lowering that bridge, because I said everything to be forbidden so that they wouldn't go out there and start picking shit up while they were undead deer. But, decided it was time to lift that. We kind of needed it. We kind of needed to go out there, get the guys' corpses, and I'm also digging out those slots right there so that the entrance of our fort is going to be a memorial to all the dwarves who died for our sins. And instead of having plump helmets in all these spots, I decided to put a few more sweet pots, kind of put some variety in it, because they weren't growing a damn thing else. We kind of needed a little bit of variety. But still, winter has begun. Although I think in a haunted area like this, it's not going to matter whether it's winter, spring, or fall, but oh well. Now, something very beneficial that we did not have in that last one, and it's something that I'm going to touch on in incredible detail here in a second. This is an ore of coarse iron. It's iron! Iron! And it's something we didn't have in the last fort. And this is the end of the first QuickFort episode. I hope everybody enjoyed this one. And you guys can leave me feedback on what you think of this. Things that you would like me to change. If you don't like the kind of music I use, recommend some, anything really. Anything that you guys think can be improved on. Just leave a comment in the description, in the bottom of it. Just, do something to give me some feedback. So I hope everybody enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Episode.